We have till now we have discussed a little bit of how the energies, the thermal energy, the chemical energy or the mechanical energy in terms of pressure or this injury, pinprick sensation or the high temperature, maybe above 45 degrees Celsius, or the cold, or these touch, everything is transducted, everything is converted into electrical energy at the first order neuron. We also know that under normal circumstances, these action potential is not prolonged. But during inflammation, these continuous the insults or the events of these energies will stimulate the receptors at the free nerve endings, and so there is also sensitization that also have a little bit of discussed, and the role of prostaglandins in lowering the threshold, so that there will be allodynia, there will be hyperalgesia. This hyperalgesia is also occurs due to this prostaglandin secretion at the peripheral level. Now, we should discuss a little bit about the modulation of the pain at the peripheral level. If this is the peripheral nerve ending, and at the peripheral nerve ending, there are lots of ports, receptors. There are lots of receptors are there. There is also branch of the nerve. There might be also branch of the nerve, and the receptors here. This is we call is GPCR. This is a G coupled this receptor that is normally found, and these receptors, there are many receptors. Maybe we get found there are receptors for the, this is a receptor for the GABA receptor, GABA B receptor. There are also receptors, it is found that CB receptors. This is cannabinoid receptor. These receptors are also upregulated during the inflammation in the dorsal root ganglion. So from the dorsal root ganglion in those nerve cells, those receptors are upregulated and transported via their microtubules into the nerve endings during this process of the inflammation. But why? The receptors are being taken. Receptors have some action, some function. There are also other receptors, like there is a muscarinic receptor. For you, we know that acetylcholine, there is both nicotinic and muscarinic action, and these are practically opposite. Nicotinic stimulates, but the muscarinic action of the acetylcholine, it depresses. So these muscarinic receptors are also there upregulated. There are also other receptors like opioid receptors, the mu and those receptors. So the opioid receptors are also seen during the inflammation here. There are also other receptors like this alpha-2 adrenergic receptors. So alpha-2 adrenergic receptors. So these receptors, they all practically are responsible to receive those cytokines or those products, those chemical messengers or informers which will reduce this membrane potential. So where from they come? During the inflammation, we know that there is lots of release of interleukin 1 beta. Also we know during the inflammation, corticotropin releasing hormone. These are secreted during the inflammation. These in turn stimulate the neutrophil. They stimulate the neutrophil to release. Neutrophil will release endorphin. So the endorphins are released from the neutrophil. These endorphins are also released from the other immune cells like the lymphocytes. So both the lymphocytes and also the neutrophils, these endorphins are released. And these endorphins, they're attached to the opioid receptor, like the morphine, like the opioids. Similarly, there are also lots of epinephrines and norepinephrines, which are also attached to these alpha 2 adrenergic receptors. And these agonists, they also help by reducing the pain or reducing the lowering the further that voltage at the inside of the membrane. There are also many substances that we have seen that from the DRG also there are production of GABA. So GABA is also produced in the DRG, and this inhibitory, those GABA that is synthesized by those clear vesicles, they are transported, and this GABA then it comes out, and this GABA is attached to this GABA B receptor. This GABA B receptor is also, we have discussed already, that is upregulated. Similarly, there is another, that is anandamide. Anandamide is basically, it is a cannabinoids. It is a cannabinoid. It has mostly central action, and the central actions like confusion or other psychotropic, some psychological complications or side effects are there. It is limited, the use is limited by that. But also, it also peripherally, this cannabinoid, that also are attached to the cannabinoid receptor. There are also this acetylcholine. This acetylcholine, they can also act with the muscarinic receptor to reduce the membrane potential. Basically, almost all these products, almost all these cytokines, they can reduce the membrane potential by reducing the particularly the inward this rectifying potassium movement, and this potassium, and also by decreasing the calcium, because we know, we have also already discussed during the action potential, during the hyperpolarization, then there is more negativity, maybe up to -90. During the hyperpolarization, this -70 millivolt goes down to -90 or -80, like that. So from -90 or -80, it has to be again reached to the state of resting membrane potential. This resting membrane potential is -70. How? Because the potassium enters. So potassium, when it enters, it is called inwardly rectifying potassium entry. And this is also G protein coupled, and this is also called GI arcade, JIC. So this activity, that is also reduced. So potassium will not be able to enter, so it will remain more negative, and so the membrane will be insensitive to the stimulants or the facilitatory, those neurokines. So this is in a nutshell about this peripheral modulation of the pain during inflammation.